Russ, I think the prevailing thought is these last two games look like the Russell Wilson of past years. Would you agree that you felt comfortable here these last two games? And was it just a matter of you just needed time with new environment, new teammates, new coaches?
Yeah, I think that what was great is just for guys to keep fighting, and I think in the midst of everything that's gone on this year, we were able to keep fighting together. And when you have your teammates fighting for you, everybody's fighting for each other, battling to the last play of every game, it's worth fighting for, And so I think also, too, what was really great is I think over the past several weeks, we started creating identity over the past several weeks. I even go back to the first Chiefs game when we were kind of behind. We really started catching fire, and I think that was really good for us. We had one game in there that wasn't our best, but I think from there we stayed together. We stayed connected. We stayed connected and believing in one another, and guys were just making plays. I thought Jerry Jeudy was special this game and also all year. To see Cortland Sutton get in the end zone, to see Latavius, just how special he was since he's come on our football team, and just how physical and dominant he was. Chase Edmonds getting the football. It's just, and I think the line did a tremendous job battling over the past 2 weeks in particular, especially against a very good front of the Chiefs last week, a very good front this week. And I thought those guys gave us a chance, and we kept having fun. We kept battling. When you have a great defense like that, those guys making plays all year. It's unfortunate that we weren't able to catch that identity early on. But I felt like that we really did a good job. I think Coach Kubiak and I think Coach Justin Outten did a really good job of bringing us all together. There's some amazing guys on that staff. Coach Grossi, guy who puts all this time in. Coach Z, coaching up those receivers every day, daily. The guys behind the scenes, Mateo and Chung, all those guys. Just everybody, tight ends coaches, the running back coach. Just everybody's put so much into it. And it's unfortunate that obviously we're not continuing on after tonight. But I really believe that season 12 for me and next season, year 2 here, and begins tomorrow morning, 5:30 in the morning, and that's what we're going to do. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited about just these guys. I'm excited about the guys that weren't on the field tonight, the guys that were on the field tonight that were battling with us all year round, even though they were injured. Guys like Javonte Williams, guys like Tim Patrick, what a great leader. Guys like, Draymond Jones, DJ Jones. So many great players on that sideline that we know when we get that nucleus back out there, how special can we be? Guys like Bowles, a dominant left tackle. He was one of the reasons, that once I got here, I was just super excited to play here just because of him. And guys like Reisner who fought, all year with injuries. And there's a lot of great men on this team, high character guys. And most people, I think that when adversity hits, they run from it and they get scared of it and they shy away from the work of it all. And when adversity hits, they don't want to confront it. And these guys in this locker room have been really special. They've confronted it all. We've all confronted it together. We've all battled together. We've all kept fighting together. And that's what Broncos country deserves, is us laying it on the line every play, no matter what the situation is, no matter what the season looks like, our highest moments and our lowest moments. And I'm excited. It was fun to win. I love winning. There's nothing I love more than winning. And we're going to do a lot more winning, coming up here in the near future. But just it takes a lot of determination, a lot of dedication, a lot of clarity, and a lot of work ethic. And I'm excited about where we're headed.
There's several hours between now and 5:30 tomorrow, but
Yep.
When you talk about the offseason, what does that look like for you? You've talked about sort of evaluating how you do things and all of that. Like, I'm sure you've thought about it, so sort of can you lay out for us any changes or what you think your offseason looks like to make year 12 a good one?
Yeah, I think that, this will be coming up on year 12, and I believe in consistency, that consistency in your habits and work ethic and what you do. Every day's thought out, planned out, and every day, diligence of that. Every year you always evolve and you always try to learn from things. And this season has been really humbling year. It's been a challenging year, but it's been a year of tremendous joy. It's been a year of tremendous joy because of the guys I've gotten to play with, and and just the work ethic they put in, the early mornings in San Diego when those guys came out and just put all that work in, all the hard work, to the early mornings in the shed and the walkthroughs, and just us players running walkthroughs to the DB dinner we had the other night. That was fun. To laughing about basketball and who the greatest players are, to just the joy of practice every day. And this game, as we know, it doesn't last forever, and as we saw, with DeMar the other night, it can be gone just like that. And so to be able to find that passion, that joy every day in the off season, during the regular season, and playoffs, all that matters. And so what I'm excited about is just being able to spend time with those guys, continuing to work on what we've worked on and where we've gone, especially over the past several weeks. I know guys will have their downtime, and especially come up over the next couple of weeks or whatever, and traveling and moving and all that stuff, going back home, whatever it may be. But we'll get right back to it, and we're excited to work again with those guys, just because I know there's so much growth, there's so much potential. I think about the young guys. I think about the guys like Brandon Johnson. I know he had a tough day tonight, but he's made some great plays for us. Guys like Virgil, guys like Dolchich. I mean, how great are these guys, young players that are going to be really up and coming and magnificent for us. So we have a good football team. We didn't show it this year. There's been a lot of challenges. There's a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of tough times. There's been a lot of changes. But I know that ownership and George will do a tremendous job of making sure that we put the best football team out on that field next year. And also, obviously with the new head coach situation, I know that they'll find a great head coach.
Russell, you've talked about that belief that things are going to get better, that you're going to move forward here. You've talked about all the guys you're getting back, but I guess for you personally, what do you expect of yourself next season?
Well, the same thing I've always expected, and that's to win. I think every year you dress up the cleats and tie them up to be your best, and this year was not that. But I know how much hard work I'm going to put into it, and we're going to all put in together. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to overcoming. I'm looking forward to obstacles. I'm looking forward to the adversity that we had and learning from it all and knowing where we're going. Like I said, the chemistry that we were able to develop, me and Jerry and Cortland and Dolchich and different guys, young guys, it's gonna pay off. And everything doesn't always happen overnight. I know that. But I know winning takes a lot of effort. I know what it looks like too. And I know that we're gonna make sure that we do everything we can to bring that back to the Broncos country here, and we're gonna do everything we can to make sure that we get back on a hot winning streak and win some championships here. And that's what I came here for, is to be a part of that, and for us to all do it together. And we're gonna make sure that happens.
Russ, to your right, just when you go about your self-evaluation, can you just discuss how do you look at your footwork? Do you look at cut-ups of your decision-making? How do you go about that process?
Yeah, every year, you dive into the details. You watch the games again. You study, what went right, what could have gone better, and then what do you want to keep working on, every year. And I'll do a deep, film study into all that, and examine every little detail. I think the biggest thing is understanding that throughout all the successes and all the tough times too, you got to trust yourself. You got to understand that your process is your process, and also understanding that there's always growth in every little thing. And I'm going to challenge them. Nobody wants to be great other than me. And every day I wake up, that's all I think about. And this season hasn't been that. It's been challenging, but I think in every high moment, you understand that there may be some lows along the way. And I've said this to you guys before, but when you want to climb a mountain, you got to be willing to fall some. And you got to be able to keep climbing. And I think that's what this football team's willing to do. That's what I'm willing to do, and we're going to keep climbing.
I guess I'm following that. I admit at times this year, I watched you play, and I said, okay, where's the 9-time Pro Bowler? And people like myself have asked, is Russell Wilson fixable? Do you need fixing, or do you look at it a different way?
I've asked myself that same question. Where is he at? I think that it's been a journey. It's a lot of new, a lot of change, a lot of obstacles, everything else. You're trying to find that magic, within every game, every play, every moment. Sometimes you got to keep searching for it and keep working at it and keep building it and understanding that that everything works together, And I know that I feel like I felt short of my own standards and my own level of expectations. What I know how to do and how I love to do it, and you just want to recapture that. I think that when you're going through a tough time, I think anything in life, and when you're going through challenging moments and adversity, whether if it's family, relationally, whether if it's career-wise, football-wise, obviously, you want to find your magic again. You want to recapture that. And I felt like over the past few weeks, I feel like we found that again, And so, it was good. It was fun, And that's what we all want. And I think that it's because of those guys. It's because of their work ethic, their diligence, their focus in a tough time. It's easy to check out for a lot of guys and most people, and we didn't. I think I didn't get to give enough credit to Coach Rosberg, but I think he did a tremendous job of bringing us together in a tough time, making sure that I think his experience of coaching this game and being such a wise soul and guy that's been around, won a championship before, gone to championships before, been at the highest level. There's a feeling, there's a moment, there's an experience there to winning, and the experience of winning a Super Bowl and what that feels like. And he's one of the coaches that have done it, and there's only so many people in the world that haven't experienced that. And to be able to take that experience, take that knowledge, to take that wisdom, and to be able to spread it out across our team in a really tough time, I thought he did a tremendous job of bringing us together and making sure we understood the identity that we needed to play with. And that was together, that was physical, that was explosive too at the same time, and also have fun while doing it. And he did a tremendous job of that.
You've reflected on this season eloquently. What can Broncos country expect from you specifically next year?
Hopefully a lot of winning, getting back to what we know how to do. I think that what I'm excited about is what I came here to do is to win championships. This year didn't happen, and every year you go into it hoping that's the case. And I've been fortunate to be at the highest level sometimes, but sometimes you go through tough times too. But I know that with the diligence that we're going to put into it together, and when I'm going to give it to this every single day, and the excitement of it all here, and the new changes and everything else, we're going to continue to grow together. I think that I'm excited about these guys I get to play with, and who we have coming back too. That's a big deal. I mean, we got some superstars, Javonte Williams and Tim Patrick and Garrett Bowles that are coming back, here soon. And that's a big deal, and I'm excited about that. And that's what we're looking forward to, put on a show next year and hopefully winning some Super Bowls. And what you got to do is take one day at a time. I've learned that a long time ago. Is that you have to take one day at a time and understand that it's all these little beautiful little pieces along the way. Moments like tonight to be able to celebrate together in the locker room again. Moments like tonight to be down and come back and make explosive play, and Jerry to get hit the deep route, Freddie Swain making the great play. All those little moments, all those little obstacles along the way, they build your character. They build who you are. And so I'm excited to get back out here and to play in front of our amazing fans. I mean, the fans helped us out so much tonight. The energy they brought, how they cheered us on, how they rooted for us throughout the whole game. How they've been with us all year, that was a difference maker. So I'm excited about that too.
Russell, obviously, the next few weeks, the coaching search is going to be at the front of everyone's mind. What kind of input have you given or will you give to Greg and George as they go through the search? And secondly, two of the candidates out there, Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, two guys I'm sure you're very familiar with. What do you think of those two coaches?
Well, I think first of all, we have a great ownership group. Obviously, we have some amazing, wise people in Greg and Kerry and Mr. Walton himself, Rob himself, and obviously Condoleezza is a brilliant mind, Melody Lewis. We got some amazing people at the forefront of this change in this moment here. And this moment is a critical moment for us all because it's going to uplift and change, hopefully, all of Broncos country for a long time, and that's what we want. We want a lot of winning. We want some Super Bowls and championships, and obviously this decision affects so many people. So many of us all, in a beautiful way. hopefully that's the case. And what I do know is they're going to do their due diligence on some amazing coaches. You mentioned Sean Payton. I've been around Sean, obviously, at the Pro Bowl. I've been around him across the league. I've played against him quite a bit. He's one of the world's best, obviously. A guy who's, coached a Hall of Fame quarterback in Drew Brees, who was one of my closest friends and a guy I've gotten to know across the league, and so many other great players. He's competitive as can be. He's a winner. Obviously, he's won a Super Bowl and done it at the highest level. I was able to be around him at the Pro Bowl, and just the wizardry that you would have on the field was just magnificent. I mean, it was just spectacular just being around him, and just Alvin Kamara, myself, Michael Thomas, just these guys. We were just talking about ball and just how he saw the game. And so he's competitive as can be, and he knows how to push guys at the ultimate level. Jim Harbaugh, obviously, I played against early in my career when I was in Seattle, and he was with the 49ers. So I don't know him personally as much as well, but I know he's a great coach, has done a lot of winning too. And there's a lot of great people, and people talk about Dan Quinn. And I know him personally too. He's an amazing coach as well, amazing person, amazing soul, great leader. But I know Coach E in here too. So there's some great candidates, and I think that the great thing is we have the right people leading us. Obviously, in Greg, I know he's helping lead the way, and George too. I mean, he's one of the best GMs in the game. So grateful just to be here, grateful to be with these guys in this locker room, and grateful to see what happens.
Russ, when you have a season like this, and you haven't had many in your career, you find out who your friends are. About, like you said, with adversity. You took a lot of shots physically and reputation-wise this season. How does that motivate you? You get up, you said tomorrow, 5:30 in the morning, it starts, getting ready for 2023. How does all that scar tissue, literal and figurative, set you up? How do you respond to those critics who are going to say, show me what you got?
Well, first of all, I think it's a great question. I think, first of all, in terms of criticism, when you want to be at the highest level, you have to be willing to take it all. And you have to be willing to take the praise. You have to be willing to take the criticism, too. And, if anybody's the biggest critic of myself is me. It wasn't a very good year, but there's also been some good times, and knowing that, too, and knowing that truth. And knowing that when you're giving everything you have every day, that's all you can give. You can't give any more than 100, People always say 110, but I can give 100, try to give 100 every day. And I think the other part to it, as you mentioned, you figure out who your friends are, you figure out there's some guys, man, have had my back in so many different ways, and we've just been able to sit down and have dinner or talk or whatever it may be, and maybe talk about family or life that's outside of football, too, that we get to always connect on, and that they've helped me out, and vice versa. And, I think that part of winning is that you get all the praise a lot of times, and part of losing is they shoot you down, and you expect it. I understand it, and I also know that for me, I always want to put God first and just try to love at the fullest, even when it's hard, even when it's the tougher times, to be able to do that. And know that, I love these guys in this locker room, what they've done this year and how they've battled, who they are as men, and we got a special group of guys that we're super close with, and guys like Justin Simmons that have been a big, big shoulder to lean on. Latavius Murray, big shoulder to lean on. Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton and Tim Patrick and these guys, KJ Hamler, Garrett Bowles, these guys I can count on. Reisner, our little prayer group that we have every Wednesday and Friday. Those have meant a lot to me, and so. PJ, just being able to talk to him and laugh a little bit every once in a while. Just there's some guys that are so connected, and so what's true, what's the truth, and you deal with outside noise, and you just try to stay consistent with who you're going to be and how you are, and don't waver. And then you asked me something else there. I think at the end, part of the second question. What did you say?
How does that motivate you?
Yeah, how's it motivate me?
That stuff starting in the morning, whether it's your workouts, your body type. You ran the ball well these last 2 weeks. That. To us, it seemed like that was something that was working. Do you kind of motivate with this? How does that motivate you?
Yeah, I think you're always motivated every day. I don't. You're always trying to evolve and trying to be the best version of you every day, and that's all you can control is trying to be the best you every day you wake up, every morning, no matter what you do in life. trying to find the best you mentally, health-wise, physically, relationally, husband-wise, being a father. I mean, trying to be the best you every day, and that's what I'm always trying to be focused on. But I think also too, my motivation is winning. My motivation is helping this football team win. That's what I came here to do, is to help the Denver Broncos win, and we're going to do that. We're going to turn this thing around. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the work ethic we're going to put in, and and so I think that's really key too. And I think the final thing, I think about that too as well is, you have to understand that that everything you desire, everything you want, sometimes it's not going to come right away. It doesn't happen right away every time. I've been fortunate that a lot of things have happened. My first 10 years, pretty much right away. But this has been, as hard as this season's been, it's been one of the most rewarding seasons. One of the most rewarding seasons because of change, being here with these guys. And, I had an amazing first 10 years with some amazing people, and some amazing just people that I'm still forever close to. And to be able to come to a new organization and to be around some of the most amazing men and women too in that facility that you get to be around. I think about Wendy every day. You walk into the cafeteria and she lights up every day. Brandy, and just these people that may not be seen from the forefront, writing, and be written about every day. But those are the people that put a smile on your face and keep you going and keep you motivated in every way. So I don't need any extra motivation, but they did light a fire a little bit. So I'm excited about that.
Last one, Arnie Stapleton.
Russ, you arguably played your best football these last couple of weeks, and we all saw in Jerry Rosberg kind of an old school coach, and I'm wondering what qualities he brought in these couple of weeks that you appreciated that you'd like to see maybe in the next head coach. You listed a lot of great candidates. And then second part was, what do you think the unity and whatnot that you guys showed with the Hamlin situation here and across the league? What do you take from that?
Well, I think first of all, the thing that Coach Rosberg really showed is his experience with winning, his experience at winning at the highest level, winning a Super Bowl. Like I said earlier, only so many people get to do that, and that goes a long way. I mean, to know what it looks like, sounds like, smells like, talks like, all that. And I think all of that has been really awesome to watch and experience, and to listen to and to be able to evolve as a team. I think the assistant coaches did a great job of, rallying together too and challenging us every day. And I think that what we were able to do as players is to take on that charge, to take on that challenge, and try to be the best version of us for the last 2 weeks. Try to, show out for the last 2 weeks. And we wish we had won that game in Kansas City. It was, it was tough that we didn't win it. We felt like we were going to win it. But to be able to come back this week and to play in front of our fans, the world's best, and just be there in front of them and screaming loud as possible, that was special tonight. And so we were grateful for that, and that meant a lot. And it makes it all that much more worthwhile to be able to end with a bang. And I think that, in terms of, as you mentioned, the next head coach and, what that could bring or whatever it may be, I think number one, you want somebody that can lead a group of men to be the best version of themselves every day. At the same time, also teach us to be the best football players we can be, to challenge us to be the best, to show us what winning looks like, to understand what that means, and then also to, at the same time, have a blast while doing and making all of us players rise to the level that we know how to rise to and what we expect to. And as you mentioned, there's some great people that have done it at the highest level, and we're excited to see where that takes us. And then going back to your question, I think you mentioned something that I think is so important in life, and this is the last thing I'll say. I think any time in life, and going also to what you mentioned about Damar Hamlin and everything. Every time we strap on the cleats and put on our pads and put on our helmets, there's a few things we think about. Number one, sometimes it's faith. Sometimes it's our family, our kids, our mom or dad, whoever it may be, somebody that's maybe gone. I always think about my wife, Sierra. I think about my mom, my kids. I think about my family. I think about my dad who's no longer here. I think about my teammates. Every time you put those on, you're fighting for something great for them, every day. And I think watching DeMar get hit the other night, and seeing him take that hit and seeing him drop to the ground, and for those first 5 minutes to 9 minutes to 10 minutes, the world stopped. The world stopped in such a way that we wondered sometimes as players and athletes, is this worth fighting for sometimes? Some guys I'm sure asked. And I think also too, you ask yourself, man, could that have been me yesterday? Could that have been me last week? Is that going to be me next week, in your head as a player? And I think though what was really amazing was seeing everybody drop down to a knee and pray together, and just to have a little glimpse of hope that maybe within the next 30 seconds, the next minute, the next 5 minutes, next thing you know, it's an hour later, maybe, just maybe, there's a glimpse of hope that maybe he can overcome this. And I think that what we showed is that when we come together and get to pray together and we get to be all different races, all different sizes, all different socioeconomic statuses, all different types of fans, from Bengals fans to Buffalo Bills fans to fans who were Denver Broncos fans and all other types, or maybe people who aren't even football fans, to be able to come together and to work together for unity, that means something, and that's where change happens. We always say we want to see change, and we always want to see our communities change and evolve. But that was a glimpse of what we are able and capable of doing together if we'd all do it together. And so that right there was worth praying for. That was worth fighting for. And I know DeMar is super grateful, and I know so many other people, but us as players too. And just to be able to walk out into that field today, and us be able to come together at near the numbers and hash marks, and me and Derwin to be able to pray number threes for DeMar, and just to be able to drop down and pray right in the center of it all. That's what life's about, is to be able to come together and not apart, not away from each other, but together. And that was a great glimpse of that. And I think that in this game you have to have adversity tolerance, knowing that there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be challenges, there's going to be adversity in life, there's going to be things that we all deal with. But I hopefully that glimpse of what we experienced today on that field, to be able to pray for DeMar together, Broncos and Chargers and fans, that adversity, when we're able to go through it together, it's that much easier and that much better. And it's all worth fighting for. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all you guys in here, guys and girls, women, men, that have helped along the way this year and just have been a critical part. I know this tough season, but I can't wait for next year. I can't wait for where we're going, where we're headed. There's going to be a lot of changes, a lot of obstacles, a lot of good things too, and looking forward to it all. And just grateful for this community taking me in as a kid that just wants to dream. And wants to dream of keep winning, and wants to dream of doing it at the highest level. And so I'm just grateful for this community and just everybody here and all the Broncos fans. What a blessing it is to play for you every day. And we're going to turn this thing around. And I'm excited about it. And it starts with me. It starts with all of us together, doing it together. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to winning. I'm looking forward to winning a lot here and what we're capable of. And that's what we came here to do, and that's what we're going to do. Appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.